Going into the fastest corner on the circuit. Surely this can't work.
Dominic Ligner has got a sensational run outside line now, though, for the heavy braking zone. Around the outside goes the Audi R8.
Look how much Miller's caught back into play. Exactly. Miller's still start trouble. He's not just second and change. All of a sudden, Miller's back in play.
Can Barry do it? Big Barry's gonna do it. Big Barry!
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Radical Sim Racing America's Pro+Am Tour. We are here for round number 8, the final round of this season. And what better place to do it than Brands Hatch, a fun little track just over 3 kilometers. Lots of speed and lots of technical short sections, so it's going to give these drivers a chance to really show off their skills in the final race this evening. We've seen a lot of drivers going off track in the practice laps here, so we'll see if that happens out in our race today. Just a few more minutes left, and we will be getting ready for the 10-minute qualifying session. 3 minutes of practice remaining. Lucas Vieira currently on top of the speed charts with that On Wheels TV race team machine. Currently second in the point standings right now. Trying to do everything he can to catch up to Greg Seitz. This is the final race to score points. We will be crowning a champion after the race this evening. Unfortunately, with the way the scoring and whatnot is, we will not be able to get you your points championship here on the stream, but it definitely will be announced shortly after, so make sure you get yourself into that link in the description to the Radical Americas site, and you can check up on the points when that is done. But at the moment, let's take a look at the points standings right now. Greg Seitz out front with 473 points, and Lucas Vieira just there, just almost 60 points shy. Now with drop weeks, I'm not sure exactly how close that'll put Vieira. Those two have been very, very close all season long, so I'm pretty sure it's anybody's game right now. I'm just guessing that Seitz is going to have a fairly poor finish for Vieira to take that points championship. But for third place, Juan Moncada and Diego Zuccarelli of Radline and Matrix are battling out. Just 2 points separate those two for the third position, so we'll keep an eye on those two today to see who gets that third position in the point system. Moncada just holding out just a little bit over Zuccarelli, but don't count out Stephen Place, the other team Radline driver. He's right there sitting in 5th with 308, only 4 points back from Moncada there in third. So a nice little battle shaping up in the Pro Series. And as we take a look at our AM side of things, Richard Hearn pretty well got the AM side buttoned up with the Elite West Racing team, and Christopher Reagan, his teammate there in second, pretty well into a good spot. He's got to deal with Manuel Solorzano, though. Solorzano has been putting up some good times all season long, and he is right there just 6 points shy from Reagan there in the second place spot. So another points battle heating up for second and third here in the AMS division. Only about 30 seconds left to go here in practice, and we will get ready for some qualifying as we take a look at the overall point standings. Rust Racing is out over 50 points ahead of On Wheels TV Race, so I'm pretty sure the Rust Racing team going to take that home unless they have a very, very poor finish here. But we do have a little bit of a battle between the On Wheels TV Race team and Team Radline. Only 40 points separating those drivers this evening, so definitely a chance to be able to swoop in and take those points. And if Team Radline has a tough time, we could see Elite West Racing take that third place overall for the team championship. So we'll see what happens there. Practice is just now finishing up, and we will get into the qualifying. 10 minutes, lone qualifying for these drivers. We'll try to take you around and see what's going on for a lot of them. we got Lucas Vieira on the track at the moment. We'll take you on board with Vieira, and we'll see what a lap around Brands Hatch is like. He's going to get them tires warmed up and ready to go. About halfway through his out lap. We'll see if he can get anything done. He was the fastest in practice. Can he turn that around and put it on top of the speed charts in qualifying? See the very fast corners here. You got to really watch the grass there. You touch that grass and you can go spinning and you can lose it really quick. We watched that last week a couple times. Someone just touched the grass and they went spinning. You really got to watch where you're at. The track is not that wide here for racing. Only a couple inches and you're going to be off as Vieira comes around the final corner. Let's take one lap around Brands Hatch with Lucas Vieira. You got to watch yourself in that downhill right-hander. Don't want to go too far off into the sand trap, and then you have the really, really tight right, and now we're going to work our way a little bit up the hill. Not too much incline, but just enough to make you really feel it and make these cars push a little bit harder. And this, I believe, is where we're going to see a lot of our passing opportunities come from. We've got a long straightaway section, and it's a fairly hard braking zone at the end of it. You really don't want to push your line too wide, or you're going to end up out in the grass and possibly into that wall. But definitely a place where if you could get that run and get that waft down the straightaway, you could possibly take that inside line away and force someone into the outside line and possibly making a mistake out into the grass. So you can keep an eye out there. And Vieira's really looking very clean here on his first flying lap. Remember, they've got 10 minutes of qualifying. Looks like 7 minutes left now that he's about to complete his first lap. Vieira's going to be the first to put in a lap of the 1:19.465. Zuccarelli comes in right behind him. As they start rolling in, Greg Seitz has got a couple purple sectors. What can Seitz do with that time? Not sure if he got an off track or what happened. He might have had an off track on that last one. So currently, Lucas Vieira out front of Zuccarelli and Moncada, but Stephen Place moves up to P2 with the 1:21.19. Nice drive for that Team Redline driver. Remember, first half of qualifying, they're going to get those good calm laps, some safe laps in. You don't want to go off track, otherwise your lap's going to be negated, as we see Vieira put down the fastest lap of the 1:18.680. Still the first car to get in that 18-second bracket. Marias moves up to second. Moncada to second now, still almost a full second off of Vieira's pace. Richard Hearn takes his AM car in the 1:19.3 bracket, getting a little bit closer to Vieira. And there goes Greg Seitz in a 1:18.805, 0.2 of a second off of Vieira's pace at the moment. Diego Zuccarelli currently with a purple sector on his time. And that sector goes green, so losing a little bit of speed there is Zuccarelli. Someone else took that fast time, but he's still got 3 green sectors. Could possibly pick up a little something. Currently sitting in 6th position, 0.8 of a second behind Vieira. And he's going to move up to 3rd with a 1:19.125. Nice lap for Zuccarelli. Moncada moves up to 4th position with a 1:19.133. Stephen Place fell back after a decent lap. Now back in 9th with that red line. And he's going to want to get further up, battling for that team championship. You really need to get them points in. We'll see if he can climb up through the pack, but only a few minutes left. People will be able to get maybe 2 more laps in. Mateus Maniacs calls it quits. He's down in the pits. Not too much going on. As you can see, all the yellow on the drivers down there, those are slower lap times than what they were putting down. Which means either they are slowing down, using up the tires, or the track is slowing down just a little bit. Greg Seitz looks like he's got a few green sectors. Might be trying to put down a good one. Mateus Seminari has got 4 green sectors. He could be doing something. He's all the way in the back. He doesn't have a lap down yet, so I believe that's why he's going to be all green. As Seitz coming across the line, he does pick it up to a 1:18.725, still a 1/10 of a second off of Vieira. Seminari moves up to 9th position, a 1:19.456, and as Stephen Place comes across the line, he moves up to 3rd with a 1:18.860. 2 minutes left in qualifying. That's just over a lap and a half, so it looks like Place is going to be slowing down. There are only a few more drivers left on the track. A couple drivers slowing down. Dvorshian and Marias, the only 2 currently on track. Dvorshian has a purple sector. Can he get it done? You pick up a spot or 2 coming across the stripe. No, just shy of his fastest time in the 1:19.391. And Seitz there goes off track. So I'm pretty sure that is going to do it for our qualifying session. Only a few seconds left to go. 1 minute left in qualifying. Greg Seitz, last car on track at the moment. Being shown second, but he did have an off track, so I don't think that he's going to be able to pick anything up on his final lap. How you doing, everybody in the chat? Welcome to JP Broadcasting. Welcome to the Radical Sim Racers Americas Tour. Yes, it is the final round. Somebody is going to the World Series, and we are going to find out who in a very short 30 minutes. Qualifying coming to an end. 6 more seconds left to go. Seitz just getting the final few laps of practice that he can in, using every bit of time. But Lucas Vieira is going to come out on top of the qualifying session with a blistering lap of a 1:18.680. Greg Seitz had a quick lap, but still almost a half a tenth off. and he's going to come up in second. Stephen Place going to start out in third with Juan Moncada taking fourth position. Diego Zuccarelli in the Event Matrix Machine is going to start in fifth, and Richard Hearn taking the pole for the AM drivers is going to start in sixth position. Hrvana Gevorgian is seventh. Manuel Solorzano fighting for that championship spot, eighth. Mateus Marias, ninth. Matthias Seminari in 10th. Joel Jacqueline, 11th. Charles Cressick, 12th. Christopher Reagan is 13th. And David Tamira is going to be running at our field in 14th position. The car is sitting on the grid waiting for the lights to come on, and we will have a 30-minute race here ahead of us at Brands Hatch. I'm excited. I hope you are too. Make sure you reach down and pull them seatbelts tight one more time, because it is about to get absolutely crazy. Radical Sim Racing, Pro+Am Tour, all the cars on the grid, lights are coming off. And we're away for round number 8, final round of the Radical Americas Tour. And Lucas Vieira gets off to a fantastic start. Craig Seitz, Stephen Place, Juan Moncada, your top 4. Everybody getting away, side by side, battling all the way in the back. Seminari trying to get through. Gevorgian trying to get by Solorzano. Reagan trying to get by Gevorgian. Fantastic driving all the way around. Everybody's keeping it there. Richard Hearn putting lots of pressure on Moncada, while Vieira, Seitz, and Police start to pull away. Oh, and there goes Richard Hearn sideways. He keeps it away from all the cars. He comes back on track, but he keeps it straight. Your AM points later now falls back to 14th position. And we've got another driver, David Tamira, off the racetrack. Not taking into account those cold tires. Everybody else is single file. Gevorgian battling with Reagan, and he's going to pull it out a little further. But now Lucas Vieira out front, starting to pull away from Seitz and getting a big gap already over top of Greg Seitz. Stephen Place in that Team Radline machine, currently in third, right behind Seitz and Vieira, trying not to let them get away too far. Those two can catch up and start battling. It could give Place a good opportunity to take advantage of any problems these two might have battling with each other, but Vieira is just in a rocket ship today, already over a second. The gap between Vieira and Seitz. Seminari in the back, putting pressure on Marias. This is a battle for 6th position. You've seen Seminari have some pace earlier on in this season. Had a couple rough goes, and now he is in the back there battling with the other On Wheels TV race team. He dives it down to the inside, going down the hill. They're going to be side by side, and he's going to have the inside line, and Marias is just going to give it up. And now Marias has got to deal with Solorzano there, right behind. Joel Jackard trying to get by Christopher Reagan as well. A couple good battles on the racetrack. Krasick getting passed by Richard Hearn. Hearn spun out in the first portion of this race. Kept her straight most of the way. And now he's back on his way up to the front. Juan Moncada has a lot of mirror full of Diego Zuccarelli, as Zuccarelli currently running in 5th. trying to get by two red line drivers in third and fourth position. Seminari also up in that battle, and the leaders just continuing to gap each other. Stephen Place even losing sight of the two leaders. Greg Seitz not letting Vieira get away too far, but still over a second the gap between Seitz and Vieira. The battle is back here though for the fifth position. Zuccarelli trying to get by Moncada and trying to hold off Seminari. These guys battling very, very close with each other. Vieira currently having the fastest lap with a 1:19.010, and Seitz just 1/10 off. Just cannot keep that pace that Vieira's got, and he has definitely got quite a bit of pace. 1.4, almost 1.5 seconds now. The gap over top of Seitz. Vieira's starting to disappear, and it's only been about 5 minutes in this race. Lucas Vieira really trying to show us that he can get it done, show us that he is world finals material as he puts down the fastest lap, a 1:18.786 for Lucas Vieira. What a lap for that Brazilian driver in that number one machine. Doing a great job out front. Richard Hearn coming up on some traffic. He started way up front and had that issue, so now he's working his way back through. He's going to have to be patient getting around some of these slower vehicles. Otherwise, he could end up in the wall and in the grass, and that's not where you want to be on a track as short as Brands Hatch. Currently trying to work around Joel Jacklin and Christopher Reagan. Battle heating up front, Zuccarelli and Moncada. Zuccarelli staying just in striking distance of Moncada. He cannot make a mistake. What a drive by all the drivers out here so far. Not too much craziness going on so far. Richard Hearn still stuck behind Jacklin, and Marias battling with Seminari. Tejas Marias, the On Wheels TV race team, really needs to get that car a little further to the front to try to help his teammate with the team points. On Wheels TV race team just a little bit behind the Rust Racing drivers. And Hovannes Gevorgian, the other Rust Racing driver for Greg Seitz, is currently down in 13th position. Not sure exactly what's going on with Gevorgian at the moment, but he is definitely a little far down. I'm guessing he probably ran off the track a little bit, but that is going to help with the points championship. Being that far down, he's going to have to get back up and save the points he can for Rust Racing, as Greg Seitz is doing everything he can to try to chase down Lucas Vieira, who is way out in front. 6 laps now completed, 22 minutes left to go in the race. And Vieira's got almost a 2.5 second gap over top of Seitz, with over 0.4 of a second faster of a lap time. So Vieira just on cruise control at the moment, can't make any mistakes, and he should be in a good spot. Diego Zuccarelli now really starting to put the pressure on Juan Moncada. If he can get him to make a mistake, he'll be all over it. Just got to make sure that you don't pressure yourself into making your own mistake. Still lots of time left to go in the race here. But you really do need to get moving because he's got Mateus Seminari coming up behind these two. Seminari got by Salorzano and is now on his way up to the front. Gevorgian must have had an off track or something because he is now putting the pressure on Krasik and starting to move back up towards the front as well. We're going to keep you on the team Radline driver of Juan Moncada. He's got Diego Zuccarelli all over him. And at one point, someone's going to break. It's either coming down the hill or through the tight technical sections. All it takes is a little bit of grass, a little bit of sand. You see Moncada enters really, really low, and that's going to allow Zuccarelli to catch right back up to him. We see two totally different lines out of these drivers. See all that extra speed Zuccarelli carries through the entry of the corner, but Moncada is able to get the exit speed needed to get a little bit of pull over top of Zuccarelli. Both of these drivers pushing their cars to the limit. This is your closest battle on track at the moment, a battle for fourth position. Seminari just hangs out in the background, but these drivers super, super close. Seminari trying to stick his nose into the battle as well. He's within a half a second of these drivers, so these guys either gotta figure out what they're doing, either let one of them by or hit the pedal, because Seminari is coming and Moncada is losing ground to Stephen Place, his teammate, which could be possibly what he's trying to do. Stephen Place all up here in third, running all by himself. Not too much going on in front or behind him, so doing pretty decent for the team Radline driver. Zuccarelli doing everything he can, trying to look for an opening to get by Moncada, and there's just nowhere to go at the moment. As you see, Seminari's now made this a three-car battle for fourth. And that time by, Vieira did a half a second faster than Seitz. Zuccarelli looking to the inside of Moncada in turn number one, but it's a little too much, a little bit too late. Still 2/10 back. And now Seminari all over the back of Zuccarelli. Zuccarelli gets a little bit loose there, might allow Seminari to catch. Seminari gets a little bit loose. All these drivers driving right on the edge of the limit. I believe Seminari's gonna try to make a move here in a moment on Zuccarelli. He's in the perfect position to pass. Let's go a little bit on that corner. That was a little sketchy. Zuccarelli got a little bit of air in that SR10. Still Seminari not able to do anything. Zuccarelli holding it off, but now Moncada starting to get a little bit of a gap with these two battling, and Zuccarelli playing defensive now. See right behind these guys, Manuel Solorzano, currently in the lead of the AMs division after Richard Hearn had some issues. And actually, it looks like Richard Hearn is in the pit lane, so Solorzano having a great shot at winning this for the AM division tonight. Doing a great job running 7th overall at the moment, kind of in a race all on his own. Nearest driver back is Christopher Reagan, and he would be 5 seconds back from Solorzano, so doing a pretty decent spot there. And oh, there's Diego Zuccarelli. He goes off the racetrack. What happened there with Zuccarelli? He's going to lose a couple spots with that. And there it is, just that little bit of touch of grass. That's all it takes. You see Seminari get by without incident. Solorzano gets by without incident. And Zuccarelli gets back going, but now that's going to show him in P7. And a really tough break for Zuccarelli. Now Moncada just kind of all on his own at the moment. Seminari trying to catch up. He's got a little bit to go. Richard Hearn being shown on track, but one lap down, so Hearn not having the greatest final race for him. He's pretty much got that championship locked in the bag. Definitely wants to put on a good showing for his friends, family, and sponsors. So he's going to keep it on track, back down in 13th position. Meanwhile, up front, Lucas Vieira, the class of the field, currently not running too much faster than Sights. Sights with a 1.56 and Vieira with a 1.47. So staying very, very close in lap times at the moment, but keeping a 2-second gap over top of Sights. We are over halfway to go. They're over halfway done here at round 8. And Vieira is losing a little bit of time to Sights, so we'll keep an eye and see if Greg Sights is now starting to come into his car, and if he can start wearing down that gap that Lucas Vieira has put down here in the first 16 minutes. A little further back, Seminari is starting to catch Juan Moncada. This is going to be a battle for 4th place now. Zuccarelli fell back just a little bit trying to play defensive over Seminari, but now Seminari's gotten by him and he's going after Juan Moncada. Placed quite a bit ahead, 4 seconds ahead of these drivers. So he is in a race of his own, not having to worry about too much. This is your battle though. Seminari wanting to get back up. If he can get that podium spot from place, he'll take it, but he's going to have a little bit to do once he gets by Moncada if he wants to get there. Diego Zuccarelli starting to come back. He might be able to get by Solorzano. Solorzano just holding on to a good pace at the moment in the lead of the AMs over top of Reagan by almost 6 seconds. So he doesn't need any trouble, I'd have to imagine. He's just going to allow Zuccarelli to get by once he gets there. Seminari all over the tail of Moncada. Is he going to make a move? He looks to the inside. He thinks twice. He's going to try to do it on the exit. He dives down to the inside. He's going to hold them brakes. He does not want to get into Moncada. That was a very close call and a very smart drive by Matthias Seminari. 11 and a half minutes left to go. Don't want to put yourself in too crazy of a predicament and take yourself out of the race. That time, Sights faster than Vieira. Now 1.7 seconds to gap. We'll keep an eye on the gap on the leaders. Sight slowly working down the gap to Vieira, but by a tenth of a second a lap. 1.8 seconds gap. I don't think 11 minutes is going to be enough time as Seminari is getting so close to making an overtake on Moncada. Looking to the left, looking to the right, nowhere to go. Moncada defensively driving almost perfectly. Moncada really has to watch that mirror though, because he is all over it. 0.2 of a second gap. These guys doing very, very high speeds around this Brands Hatch circuit. And I have to imagine Seminari is going to use this next long straight that they're coming to make it happen. We will see if he can make it happen going down to the final stretch. Oh, and he makes a little lockup. That's definitely not going to help him. He needed that to these last corners to set up to get ready to take over Moncada, and that is going to set him back about a half a second. That was real tough racing. Seminari doing everything he can to try to set up Moncada for this long straight, and he locks up the brakes and is not able to do it. Diego Zuccarelli trying to chase down Salarzano to get a little bit of his time lost. Salarzano doing a great job running 6th place and out front of the AMS division. Under 10 minutes left to go, 20 minutes. Already the distance, Lucas Vieira out front of Greg Seitz. And Stephen Place currently running 3rd for Team Radline. Kind of all by himself there. We'll keep an eye on the battle between Zuccarelli and Salarzano. I don't think Salarzano can take the AMS Point Championship, but he definitely can mix up the point standings for the team event, being that the On Wheels race team and the Rust race team are battling it out, and then also with Team Radline. So he's getting in the way. He's going to cause a couple of these drivers to miss out on some points, and being as close as these points are, he's really got to watch it. What gets me is we've got Orvana Shavorzian down in 10th for Rust Racing, and Mateus Marias for On Wheels TV down in 12th. So those two kind of negating each other's team points. And that might make it to where the On Wheels TV race team comes up just a little bit shy from Rust Racing, taking them over. 8 minutes left to go. Not too much going on. Seminari still trying to get by Moncada. He's caught back up. 8 minutes left to go. He has the time to get by. He just has to be smart. And as you saw, Stephen Place off in the distance, so they are starting to catch Moncada's teammate as well. Really starting to push these SR10s to give it everything they've got. Place must be slowing down as we see him up there, just 3 seconds now separating Moncada and Place. 3.5 seconds between the teammates there. Seminari gets so close, he's going to take a look to the outside. Can he do it around the outside? No, he's probably going to try a cut back down to the inside. Still can't get there, so close. This is your battle for 4th position. Seminari trying to get by Moncada. And Moncada driving a great defensive race. Doing an awesome job holding off Seminari. Seminari's breaks a little bit of traction there, gets a little bit loose, and is still going to be able to hold on to it. Really into a fast technical section now. Not a lot of room for passing here, unless you get a driver that goes off track and slows down quite a bit. Gonna have to wait until we get to the final stretch for another passing opportunity. This is where Zuccarelli locked up last time. Or sorry, Seminari locked up last time. And he is now going to make the move down to the inside. Move Seminari up to P4. Moncada down to 5th. 6 more minutes left to go. Can Seminari catch Stephen Place and take a podium spot away from Team Radline? We'll have to take a minute. Mateus Marias currently in the back. Must have had some sort of problem. He's battling with Charles Krasik right now. Krasik going to battle back hard to the inside. Says, I want this spot. And he's not going to be able to do it. He has the inside for turn number 1, but Marias has the speed, and he is going to clear Krasik no problem. Vieira, we were saying earlier, Vieira was starting to lose ground on sights. Well, he is now starting back, gaining ground, 2.3 seconds. The gap over top of sights as we see Krasik trying to make a move on Marias. These two battling it out for 11th position overall. Krasik in the AMS division, Marias in the Pro division. Looks like Krasik's going to get the better of Marias at the moment. Marias trying to chase down Gevorgian in that Rust Racing machine to try to help even the odds of the points at the moment, being that Greg Seitz is right behind Lucas Vieira on track. Still a couple spots down from Gevorgian, and Gevorgian looks like he's starting to possibly make a move on Joel Jacqueline, which could be something happening here towards the end of the race. 4 minutes left to go in the final round of the Radical Sim Racing Americas Tour. Lucas Vieira out front, Greg Seitz in second, and Stephen Place in your third and final podium position. Hrvoje Gevorgian looking to go around the outside of Joel Jacqueline. Not going to be able to do it. We've seen a couple drivers try to go to the outside, and there's just not enough speed and not a very good line to do that on the outside. So you're really going to watch it. Seminari having problems. What happened to Mateus Seminari? Seminari's backwards on the racetrack with 3.5 minutes left to go. Let's see what happened. Gets off into the grass, and that'll do it. Oh, and he gets into the wall pretty hard, as we see quite a few drivers going on past him. That's a bummer, as he's going to take it into pit road, and it looks like Mateus Marias is backwards on the racetrack in the final turn as well. We see Richard Hearn now going by Marias. Not sure if we had a slick track or what that was, but now we've got Gevorgian trying to make a move still on Jacqueline. This is going to be a battle for 8th position. And only a couple minutes left, and Seitz now losing sight on Vieira. Over 3 seconds the gap between first and second, and over 8 seconds the gap between Seitz and Place. Solorzano now is sitting comfortably in 5th position and atop the AMS board. So Solorzano having a pretty decent run so far this afternoon. He's going to come away with a win with the AMS division. All he's got to do is hold on for another 1.5 minutes. Christopher Reagan is, looks like 9 seconds or so back behind Solorzano. So as long as he keeps it straight and on the racetrack, he's going to take home the win for the AMS division here at Brands Hatch. And Lucas Vieira, he's been out front, all on his own this entire race. 3.5 seconds now the gap over top of Greg Seitz. And we are coming down to 1 minute left to go in this race. They're currently making lap number 22 here at Brands Hatch. I think that's the most laps I think we've seen all season. And there's the white flag right there. One more to go, 50 seconds. This is going to be the final lap. Seitz 3.5 seconds back. Stephen Place even further back, hasn't even gotten to the stripe yet. And we have got Seminari around again. But what a story. Lucas Vieira. Oh, Marias now around as well. Couple drivers losing it in the final minutes of the race. And 8 seconds left to go. This is going to be the final time. Vieira's got a massive gap over top of Greg Seitz. Only a few more corners for Vieira. And although I'm not sure if he's actually going to take the championship with this win, Seitz finishing second, doing exactly what he needs to do to hold on to it. Vieira is going to come out of that final turn and across the stripe. He is going to win here in Brands Hatch. What a great drive by him. Greg Seitz coming across the line in second. And Stephen Place in the Team Redline entry comes home in our third and final podium position. Juan Moncada, his teammate, comes just in front of Manuel Solorzano. In fifth, Diego Zuccarelli is going to come home sixth. Christopher Reagan, after a pretty decent drive, up 6 positions from his starting spot. He's going to start in seventh. Joel Jacklin comes home just in front of Horvana Shivarji, and they're going to finish 8th and 9th. Charles Krasik comes across the line. He is going to round out your top 10. And what a drive from all of our drivers here this evening. Lucas Vieira getting it done up front. And we will see if we've got a few drivers ready to speak with us. Oh man, final round, 8 rounds of racing in. We've watched Seitz and Vieira go at it time and time again, back and forth with each other on the racetrack. And it finally came down to the final race. And Lucas Vieira really had the thing in the bag. He really pushed and pushed and pushed. And he got himself a good almost 4-second lead over top of Seitz there at the end of the race. And it looks like we do have our winner waiting for us, coming across the stripe in the first place position. Lucas Vieira, you finish off the season with an incredible victory and an incredible drive. What was it like out there today, man? So about halfway through that race, you had just over 2-second lead over top of Seitz. And we watched Seitz starting to bring it back in a little bit. Did you lose a little bit of focus, or did you find yourself losing a little bit of grip, or what happened there? Because we see Seitz for about 5 or 6 laps, he started gaining on you. And then it's like you picked up the pace again and you just kind of blew away from him. Well, you definitely found something out there today. You were in a rocket ship for that On Wheels TV race team and doing everything you can to try to take those final championship points. I know it's going to be very, very close between you and Greg Seitz. Do you think you might have pulled it off with that win tonight today? For sure. Yep. We're not going to be able to find out here on the stream due to, like you said, drop weeks and a few different point stuff. But congratulations on your win today. You've had an amazing season and amazing points battle with Greg Seitz, and whichever one of you comes out on top, both of you definitely deserved and earned every single point in that battle. Congratulations, Lucas, and we hope to see you next season. Ladies and gentlemen, Lucas Vieira, your winner here this evening in a close points battle with Greg Seitz. Make sure you check the link in the description there and you head over to the Radical Americas website and you can check out the point standings and the final official points results here very shortly. I believe they update them after a day or so. But right now, let's bring in our second place finisher. We believe he is the man that actually took our points championship this season. Greg Seitz, you put on a spectacular drive today. You didn't make any mistakes, but it just wasn't quite enough to be able to get it done up front today. What was it like being on the track today? So you did do the math, and that would seal your deal with the championship being a second place. Is that what you're saying? Well, there you have it, folks. We didn't have the math all quite figured out going into the weekend, but Greg Seitz definitely has it. He's going to be your championship winner. Greg, who do you got to thank for an amazing run today here, P2, and for an amazing season?
And he finished strong. But so yeah, it was really a lot of fun, having to push with him, and then a bunch of other guys really were very strong as well later in the season. So I couldn't take anything for granted. So I thank all those guys and you guys for putting on the broadcast and the league itself. It's been great, and my partner Kate as usual. Since I'm going to force her to watch this.
For sure. Well, congratulations on an awesome season. Congratulations on another great P2 finish. Vieira was super fast today. You can't fault him for that. But we look forward to seeing you next season there, Greg. And enjoy it while you can.
Yeah, thanks.
There you go, ladies and gentlemen. Greg Seitz going to be your second place finisher and your champion here. Sorry about the audio difficulties. We got them figured out now. We got Stephen Place in the booth. I believe this is the first interview I've actually gotten to do with this driver coming home in third position. Stephen Place, what a drive you had this afternoon. Take us through your race here at Brands Hatch.
My race went really well. Usually in my qualifying I don't put too much into my qualifying, and this year I've really tried to put some effort into it, and that has really helped with my my race pace. My race pace is usually good. It's my qualifying that just doesn't go too well.
So you and your teammate, Team Radline, you guys finished third and fourth. You needed a really good finish to help yourselves with the team championship, and two of the drivers you guys were really battling with finished quite low in the standings. Javorgian and Marias with the Russ Racing and On Wheels TV race team. So you are in a very good spot to possibly even take second place in the team championship. How do you guys go and have such good chemistry running so close to each other, but obviously running different lines and being in a different area of each other, I guess you could say? We've seen, you run out front and Moncada towards the back, and then we've seen some races where Moncada's out the back or out front and you're a little further behind. Is that just kind of how you guys are with different racetracks together, or is there a little strategy there?
This year, Juan has joined Team Radline. He's been a great addition, and we've been practicing actually this season quite a bit together. Get together, try to at least once a night, do an hour practice, and helping each other out. Just going through corners and working with each other. That has been a tremendous help. So shout out to Juan. He had a great season himself. Team Radline had a good season in the Europeans and the Americans. So I'm quite happy with how things have gone.
So who do you got to thank for this awesome podium finish that you got here today?
I'm going to say all my teammates. We all push each other. It's been a tremendous time learning with these guys and pushing. So I'm going to shout out to Team Redline and to you guys for a great broadcast, and Sandro for all the admin. He's the glue that holds us together.
All right, well, thank you very much for talking to us, Stephen. Great job here today, and what a fantastic season. We look forward to seeing you next time.
Thank you. Bye-bye, guys.
There you go, ladies and gentlemen. Once again, sorry about the small technical difficulties. Still getting used to being up in the booth here. But what a drive, what a race we had here today. Quite a bit of action, not a lot of problems. And Lucas Vieira is going to be the driver that brings it home. Out front, almost by 5 seconds. Lucas Vieira, your winner here at Brands Hatch. For everybody here at JP Broadcasting, we want to thank you for coming out. If it's your first time here, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Make sure you hit that notification bell so that way you get notified every time that we go live. And make sure you comment and like in the chat. Let us know what you guys think and what you guys love about these drivers here in Radical Sim Racing America's Tour. That is the finale of this season. Greg Seitz takes home the championship by 1 position. So what a great job by that driver, and what a great job by Vieira, putting him through some stiff competition. For everybody here, thank you for joining us, and we look forward to seeing you next season.